Hello, my name is Michael Armentano, and I'm the go-to-market lead for Generative BI in Asia Pacific and Japan. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how you can generate impactful insights easily within Amazon QuickSight's Generative BI capabilities and Amazon Q. First, let's start off with the problem and the goals that we're trying to achieve with Generative BI. Data is a powerful tool when we can harness it. But I talk to a lot of customers who want to improve their ability to make data-driven decisions and aren't 100% satisfied with their ability to do so. So what friction do they face? According to an often cited Forbes article, data scientists spend nearly 80% of their time collecting, cleaning, and organizing data. When we surveyed our member companies at the analytics team level, on average, 68% of a team's time is spent simply reshaping data and doing basic analysis. Clearly, this and other similar activities require some skills. According to these previous sources, 75% of business users don't feel confident in their abilities to do what is required to get the most value from their data. So we have two high-level challenges. Number one, skilled people spend a lot of time doing basic block and tackle work, and we can improve their efficiency. And the number of people who have the skills is low, so we can improve the number of resources able to get more value from data by casting a wider net and requiring less specialized skills. This is the focus of QuickSight's Generative BI capabilities. QuickSight enables BI for everyone in the organization that needs it in the format they want, including augmented analytics, leveraging machine learning, and natural language query for end users. Built on a totally serverless architecture that enables consumption-based pricing and auto-scaling capabilities, Amazon QuickSight offers BI at any scale, or what we like to call hyperscale, cost efficiently. Now let's deep dive into how QuickSight can help your organization power data-driven decisions across all users in each of these areas: unification, lower costs, high performance, and our investments in AI and ML. QuickSight brings a complete interactive dashboarding experience which works on any kind of structured data from many diverse sources, including AWS cloud sources, popular data services, and even on-prem systems. Creating dashboards in QuickSight is easy, fast, and as mentioned before, QuickSight is serverless, so no matter how many users access dashboards, you can count on speed and performance. Of course, QuickSight also supports all of the standard BI capabilities we've come to expect from top tools, like flexible filters, no-code drill downs, and great visualizations. As you probably already know, AWS caters to builders, so it won't be a surprise to learn that QuickSight is a popular choice with developers creating web apps that need to seamlessly integrate and embed analytics capabilities. QuickSight does the heavy lifting of discovering data insights, visualizing, and answering questions with data, so developers can focus time and effort on their unique value propositions. In fact, over half of our over 100,000 QuickSight customers embed elements of QuickSight in one way or another, including dashboards, the natural language query search bar, and even single visualizations. QuickSight also features paginated reporting in the cloud, which enables you to deliver highly formatted reports at scale to your users' inboxes. Reports can be scheduled for delivery as PDFs and/or CSV exports. Paginated reports can help deprecate legacy reporting systems and consolidate dashboards and reporting in a cost-efficient manner. Users can view the same source of truth across dashboards and reports and don't have to decide between them. With unified authoring, there is no new learning required. Paginated reports is also serverless and auto-scales like the rest of QuickSight, requiring no infrastructure or software management. And with consumption-based pricing and auto-archival for up to 1 year, you don't have to be saddled with expensive multi-year contracts for products that you don't use. As we've detailed in previous presentations at AWS Innovate, Amazon QuickSight Q pushes the boundary of BI with ML-powered natural language query, or NLQ. QuickSight's mission is to make it easy for end users to gain value from data quickly and with ease without having to go back to IT or tech teams for answers or questions. Q enables everyday users to ask questions of their data in plain language. QuickSight's ML models interpret those questions and intent and come back with visuals to answer the questions. Q also supports forecasting questions to understand what may happen in the future for up to 3 measures simultaneously, and also enables asking why questions to identify key drivers to changes in data and quantify contribution by each driver. An important point to note is AWS's long-standing commitment to AI and ML, and that shines through in QuickSight, where we first launched Q using large language models to better understand business user language in 2020. Today, AI is a dynamic space, especially around LLMs, and we're always working in AWS to find useful new ways to help customers. That's why AWS recently announced the Bedrock Large Language Model Service to enable developers to easily incorporate LLM technology into their apps without becoming ML experts, and Code Whisperer, which automatically generates undifferentiated code for developers. We've only scratched the surface of what's possible here, and using AI and ML and large language models to simplify customers' lives will continue to be a QuickSight investment priority. Large language models are a powerful new capability, enabling customers to interact with machines in fluid and comprehensive ways using natural language. So how can they help us use data effectively to inform our decisions? Large language models are able to help with many different tasks, but are best when they assist humans by accelerating work, bringing them additional information, or even in brainstorming new ideas. Large language models are not yet at a point where they should be left alone to make business decisions. Keeping a human in the loop all the time ensures that human judgment continues to play a role in outcomes. They're also not the best tool for every job. For example, analytics services like QuickSight are designed to produce reliable analytics and can be better at statistics and calculations. Customized models trained to do specific tasks, like a forecast trained on your own data and features, can be more accurate than generalized large language models. Finally, because they do not self-verify facts or opinions, judgments and suggestions made by large language models should be always reviewed by humans before a final decision is made. In order to address the 2 important data points at the beginning of this presentation, the fact that skilled analysts spend around 68% of their time doing lower value activities like reshaping, collecting, and cleaning data, and the fact that less than 75% of analysts feel they have the skills to get the most value from their data, we've introduced generative BI capabilities in Amazon QuickSight Q, currently in preview for both readers, who are analysts who use dashboards, and authors, who are builders who create dashboards. The generative BI capabilities of Amazon Q and QuickSight combine Amazon Bedrock large language models with existing QuickSight AI capabilities like natural language understanding and insight generation to create new, easy-to-use natural language experiences with reliable analytics delivered through QuickSight's analytics engine. Q brings 3 new generative BI experiences to QuickSight customers. First, AI-accelerated dashboard authoring helps business analysts and builders quickly build dashboards and reports, reducing the amount of time they need to spend doing repetitive block and tackle work, greatly improving efficiency. Second, AI can summarize and answer questions of dashboards and data to inform business decisions for business users when and where they come up. And third, AI-assisted data storytelling enables business users and analysts to discover and share findings from their data to drive team decisions in a way that, again, reduces the amount of low-value activities, thereby vastly increasing efficiency. All of this is powered by Amazon Bedrock, Code Whisperer, and Amazon QuickSight Q. First, let's talk about the AI-powered dashboard authoring experience for analysts and builders creating dashboards for business users. Without generative BI, creating a dashboard in QuickSight requires knowledge of the QuickSight interface, and sometimes even the ability to write calculated fields using code. With generative BI, users can create visualizations simply by using language, whether it be vague or precise. As an example, you can see here in this slide, the user has created a visualization just by entering top campaigns as a prompt to Q. And QuickSight has automatically interpreted that and created a horizontal bar chart. This chart can be further refined by using language. For example, show this as a heat map, or by just pointing and clicking. You can also specify to QuickSight what you meant if the original intent wasn't properly understood. We think that these capabilities are going to drastically increase efficiency for dashboard creators, allowing them to create compelling and meaningful dashboards more quickly and with less required skills. Builders can even use natural language to easily create calculated fields without having to know anything about code. Next, in the spirit of making insights available to more users without requiring them to do a lot of heavy lifting, we're using Generative BI to surface answers before the questions are even asked. Executive summaries of dashboards, for example, including insights described in natural language, making it even easier for non-experts to understand what's going on and then make decisions. As mentioned, this even supports vague questions like, tell me about sales, and disambiguation via a did you mean feature. We've also made the lives of dashboard readers or business analysts easier. Imagine the following common scenario. A department lead, or maybe your supervisor, notices a drop in sales for a particular time period and wants to know why. How would you answer that question today? Likely, it would require cobbling together some data, perhaps creating an Excel file, maybe even writing some SQL or calling a friend. No matter how you would do it, it's going to take time. Perhaps an hour, perhaps a day, or more. And once you answer the question, you still have to put it all together in the format that your stakeholder can consume, usually a PowerPoint or PDF report. That's where QuickSight data stories come into action. A business analyst can just ask you to create a report like you see on this slide, build a story about marketing campaign performance over time, and how can we improve overall campaign success. Most of the heavy lifting is done automatically, leveraging Generative BI. Of course, as described previously, we still want a human to curate the content and perhaps to add, edit, etc. But instead of starting from scratch, you'll be starting from perhaps 70, 80, or even 90% done, drastically improving efficiency. Now let's jump into a live demo to showcase the Generative BI capabilities that we just detailed. Okay, let's jump into the Generative BI features that we've discussed in QuickSight. The first set of features that we're going to discuss and demo for you are the dashboard builder or author features that allow authors to become much more efficient and require less technical skills from them. So what you see here is the analysis view within QuickSight. I've logged on to my QuickSight console. I've created a new analysis. The analysis is supported by a data set, which you can see. This is loaded into Spice, into the in-memory engine. The data set is called QSAS Sales. It's a fictitious data set which has data on sales, products, and other order-related information on a company that we call Ambient Technologies, very similar to a software sales company. So the first thing I'm going to do is start to build out my visuals. Now, if you're familiar with QuickSight, you'll know there's a way to click and drag and drop and create visuals. But this new capability for Generative BI allows you to build visuals by simply using language. And to do that, I'm going to click right here. When you see this button, Build Visual, once I click that button, you'll see I have some suggestions here. I have some AI-generated suggestions and also some verified suggestions. I'm going to, however, go out on my own and type in what I want to see here, which is sales by country and product. And I'd like to see that as a map. Once I get through typing that, I can click Build, and Q will now generate a visual with this data on it. Once I look at my visual here, I can see that this information is exactly what I'm looking for. And I will now add this to the analysis by clicking the Add to Analysis button. You can see now that the visualization has been added to the analysis. This particular visualization is showing sales by product, by country. I might also want to look at the forecast for profit for my products. So to do that, I just type in forecast profit by month. And Q will generate a forecast for me, which I can see here. Now, this forecast is pretty flat, as you can see, in terms of profit scenario. And so that's something that I might want to look into. In the meantime, I'm going to add this to my analysis. So you can see here how we easily add visualizations to dashboards simply by using language. You can see here I've got my forecast and I've got my map. I'm just going to close these panels here and make sure that we have a little bit more real estate. Okay, another thing that I might want to do here as a dashboard builder is add a calculated field. So you can see that I've selected Add Calculated Field, and I'm going to add profit ratio instead of using these functions over here, and take advantage of QuickSight's generative BI capabilities, which use Amazon Code Whisperer. So I'll just add in here profit ratio and click Build. And QuickSight will generate this code that shows me profit ratio. I'll now click and save, and I'll be able to see the code that's generated. The code is pretty simple. It's a sum of profit over sum of sales, and that's exactly what I wanted. You can see here that I have profit ratio now. Now I might want to use my new calculated field in a new visual. In this case, I'm going to ask for profit ratio and sales by product as a scatter. And I'll click Build. So you can see here, this visualization shows me that products like Contact Matcher here have very high sales, but not a very high profit ratio. Whereas some of these other products in this quadrant over here, like the SaaS Connector Pack Gold, have a relatively high profit ratio, but very low sales. So that's information that I can use to target what I want to go after. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and add this to my analysis. Now, recall that we can ask for visualizations using language that is precise or vague. So in this case, let's say I want to ask a vague question, like products worth the most. Of course, worth can be a subjective thing. What QuickSight will try to do here is interpret the worth word as total profit by product, as you can see here. However, because it's a vague question, QuickSight also makes some recommendations by saying you may have meant sales by product, or maybe you meant country taxes by product. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and keep this because this is what I'm looking for, and I'm going to add this to my analysis. So far, we've seen how to build visualizations using language, both vague and precise, and how to create calculated fields using language instead of having to write code. Now, the third capability is to modify or edit visualizations. So in this case, let's say this horizontal bar chart is not really what I'm looking for. So I want to change this. And to do that, I'm going to come in here and just type in change to table, add region, and color profit where it is less than 100, and then click apply. Once I click apply, you'll see that these changes are applied to the visualization that we're working with, so we can see here easily that Contact Matcher, like we've shown before, is colored red because it's very low in profit. There are other products here that have less than 100 profit, and in this case, the profit number is negative, indicating that maybe there's a large amount of returns or something else that I might want to look into. So this concludes the author portion of the generative BI features in QuickSight that are focused very much on improving the efficiency of authors, which is reducing the amount of heavy lifting that authors need to do to create visualizations and dashboards such as this one, and calculated fields. At the same time, trying to make it easier and requiring less skills up front for authors and business analysts. So we're addressing both of the key metrics that we talked about in the presentation. Now let's move on to the reader portion of the demo. Okay, moving on to the business view or the reader view. This is the dashboard that we just created using generative BI. And this dashboard has now been published out to a user who will use this dashboard to analyze information that is visualized here. So nothing has really changed here. These dashboards can be simple, they can be complex. Many times what users would like to do is to summarize a dashboard and understand what the key points are of the dashboard before getting into the details. So we have that built into QuickSight, and a business user can access that by simply clicking on Build and then Executive Summary. QuickSight will then evaluate the dashboard and build out an executive summary which shows the most important and salient points on the dashboard. Instead of the user having to go and figure all of this out on their own, you can see here that right off the bat, our top 3 products for profit are SaaS Connector Pack, Alchemy, and Storage. We can see some information on the highest total profit, and then total profit also for December has decreased. So I can easily get a view of the information on this dashboard and take action if necessary, even if I don't really know much about the dashboard. I can also thumbs up or thumbs down based on what I feel has been shown here. Another thing that a user might want to do is understand here basically by asking questions if there are other areas to focus on. So I can see here that Connector Pack and Alchemy are high profit products, but maybe I want to know a little bit more about Alchemy. I know it's a high profit product, but I want to know perhaps how are things going in a particular region. So in order to do that, I can use Q, our natural language query capability, and just type in sales and profit for Alchemy in APJ. And I can get an answer on the fly without having to ask anyone, without having to do anything. I can see here that sales actually is relatively low and profit is quite high for Alchemy. So that's how you would ask a question and get answers on the fly and examine an executive summary from a dashboard as a business user. One other thing I might want to do here is create a report that helps me understand how to improve profitability for products. I can see down here I have several products that don't have high profitability, as mentioned before, things like Contact Matcher. And so perhaps I've been tasked by my manager with coming up with a plan on how we can improve profit and profitability for low profit products. So typically what will be required here is definitely some kind of work, probably using data, maybe creating an Excel spreadsheet, a PowerPoint presentation. But with the generative BI features, what we can do is use what we're calling data stories. So I'm now going to create a data story by clicking Build. QuickSight will ask me if I want a slideshow or a scrollable page. I'm going to go ahead and choose scrollable page, and you'll see here that I'm able to just describe the story in simple language. So in this case, I'm going to copy and paste this into the text prompt here since it's a relatively long thing to type. You can see I'm now using QuickSight to build a story explaining profitability trends to give ideas about how sales managers can increase profitability in their regions. So this is definitely a non-trivial thing. And the thing to keep in mind here is that these kinds of reports would definitely require a lot of work from an analyst. What we're trying to do here again is address the 2 metrics at the beginning of this session, which are increase the efficiency of existing analysts by making things like this easier, and cast a wider net and include more people in the analyst population by not requiring technology or coding skills to do this. So once I do this, what I'm going to want to do next is add visuals, which is essentially the data that QuickSight will consider when it's creating this story. So I'm going to go ahead and add all of the visuals that are on my dashboard. This particular dashboard is pretty simple. It only has 4 visuals, and so I'll just add them all by selecting them. I could also select other dashboards, but in this case, I'm just going to go add these 4. I'm going to click on Add, and then you can see that they will show up beneath the prompt. So these are the 4 visuals that will be considered in the story creation. I will now click Build, and QuickSight will generate the story. So you can see here that QuickSight has now built the story out. I have a chance to review this story if I'd like to and understand if this is something that I want to keep, or I can change the prompt, add in more information, and try again. I can, of course, also give feedback, thumbs up, thumbs down. In this case, I'm just going to keep this, and so you'll see the first thing that I'm able to do here is come in and perhaps change the look and feel to something that I prefer. I'm going to go with vivid here, and we can review this now for accuracy. Here you can see there's an introduction, total sales by country and product. You can see here that profit ratios for marketing suite, big old database, and contact matcher have decreased over time. So I might want to bring that out in bold. And then there are other areas where I can go through and basically edit and augment this information. Remember, what we're doing here is we're increasing the efficiency of this activity. So it takes a lot less time to create this report. This report is still meant to be reviewed by a human being. However, instead of starting from scratch, you'll be starting with something that's already close to complete. And so your job is basically to curate this content. I can add different additional visualizations or blocks here, and of course I can type things in and add text. One other thing that QuickSight will allow you to do is to come in here and basically make text either longer or shorter or summarize it in bullet points. And so in this case, we'll synthesize this information in bullet points by selecting Change to Bullets. And of course, I can also shorten and lengthen text by taking the same approach. Once I've curated this content and ensured it reflects what I want to reflect and everything is all set, then I can either preview this myself and or share this out with my team members, allowing them to access it. So this is the end of the demo for the reader capability. I hope you found this useful. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and found it useful. If you'd like to find out more about generative BI, this URL and QR code is a great resource. We would love for you to join the QuickSight community, which is easy and free. It's a great place to get all of your QuickSight questions answered, as well as to learn all about the game-changing things we're working on right now. You can also visit the AI ML Resource Hub to access other resources to accelerate your ML journey and deliver business value. And the ML Learning Program from AWS Training and Certification to build up and get recognized for your ML skills. We've expanded the ML curriculum and made it available digitally for free. We also have a list of partners you can work with for your AI ML journey. You can find and connect with an AWS partner in your region by clicking on the link. Thank you again for attending. We appreciate your feedback so that we can better understand your requirements. Please take time to fill out the survey and let us know what you think. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person or virtually in our next session. Thank you.